from Anonymous. Hello, Mr. Klavan. I am your, quote, weird Uncle Fred, who for some strange reason has never gotten married. He's quoting me. He says that's from last week's show. That is to say, I am gay. I'm 25. I don't date at this time and never have, but I would like to. I'm not out to any of my family and only one of my very closest friends. I strive to be an honest person. And it bothers me constantly that a massive part of who I am, I'm hiding from family and friends. I feel like I'm lying to the people I love, and it makes me feel like a hypocrite. If I tell them, it will crush my dad, and my mom and uncles won't take it well either. They are all very religious, and so am I, by the way. I've made peace with my faith and sexuality. They, however, will not see it this way. What's your advice? Should I come out or keep hiding it? Thanks so much for considering my question. I look forward to your life-changing answer. Well, this is a question that I think you've already answered, that you have to come out, I think. Being a gay man does not absolve you of being a man, and one of the first obligations of a man is to be who you seem to be. That doesn't mean you don't have a private life. It doesn't mean you don't have things that you don't want to share with people, but it does mean that you're not a phony, that basically people can trust your word and they can trust you to present yourself in some sense as you really are, and I think that's very important with your family. Now, this is going to be incredibly difficult, and it may be incredibly painful. Your family is religious, and my son has struggled with this. My son is a deeply religious person, a deeply Christian person, and a gay person, and I'm going to have him on the show soon to really talk about that and how he has solved that problem and worked out his theology. I want to talk to him about that on air because I think it's really important. People write to me every time I mention him and say that he's a deeply religious person. People write to me, no, he's not, because they don't know what they're talking about. And I believe you when you say you're religious, and I believe that you have thought about your faith and thought about what you should be doing in terms of your faith. And it's entirely your decision, something that you have to decide in keeping with your relationship with God. You have made that decision. I can tell from reading your letter that you have made that decision, and now you have to go to your parents. Now, I don't know how your parents are going to react. And I have seen with my own eyes the incredible pain of people who have been rejected by their parents for being who they can't help but be. And I know it is just a terrible burden to bear, and I can't promise you that you're not going to have to bear it. When God puts us in these situations, I believe that he has a reason for it. I believe he is showing you a way that you're going to have to move forward, and it may be that your parents come to terms with this. They love you, I'm sure. They may be shocked, but they may come to terms with it and come back to you, or they may not. And I certainly know a lot of gay people who've been rejected by their parents, and it's a terrible, terrible thing to think about, to have your parents just say, we will not be your parents anymore, or we will not act like your parents anymore because of who you are. So you're facing something genuinely difficult and genuinely that could be genuinely painful, and I don't want to lie to you about that. But I also think that this is the toll of being a man. Most men, if they are men, have lost something because they had to be themselves in the moment of crisis. Moments of crisis, some of us get to avoid a lot of moments of crisis, but they're almost always there eventually. This is yours, and I think in order to be a man, you're going to have to talk to your parents, And I hope it works out for you. I do. But I think that you have already made the decisions that have to be made in terms of who you are and who you are with God and how you are with God. And those are not anyone else's decisions but yours to make, and they're not mine to make. And so now you have to deal with this decision, which I think is written for you already. You cannot be a full human being and live in secrecy. It just can't. And the toll that this has taken on gay people through the ages has been visible. I've lived through it that time and seen it in people, and it's just damaging. It's damaging to live like that. It's like right-wingers in Hollywood who hide who they are. I've seen the price that they pay. I see it in their eyes. I see it in the way they talk and make excuses. And again, there is that that pathway of corruption, that if you don't accept and say, I'm going to say what I have to say, I'm going to tell the truth, I'm going to work toward the truth, even if it means experiencing pain, even if it means experiencing sacrifice, even if it means experiencing shame. If you don't do that, you just go down the road deeper and deeper into darkness. If you like the great content you get here, and who wouldn't, it is great content, like us and subscribe.